Hey there everyone, welcome to our second video of our 100 projects journey. So in today's video, we're gonna do a really interesting project, and you guys already saw what our project is gonna be. It's gonna be a digital piano, and you already saw what we're gonna do, what this piano is gonna do, right? So let's not waste more time and jump into the code. Alright, so from this video, we are gonna start doing the whole JavaScript from scratch. That is why I'm gonna be removing all the JavaScript code and doing it from scratch. And another thing that I mentioned in my one of my videos before, I said I won't be providing the script just the JavaScript file in my GitHub repositories. But then I thought about it again and like thought that maybe it would be much better if I provided it, right? So that is why from today's video, you guys are gonna find all the all the files, all the needed files in my GitHub repositories. All right, so now let's not waste more time and get making to the piano. So first of all, we need to understand a bit of HTML today because there's some stuffs we need from here. So you guys gonna see some class name named key and the data keys in the keys, and also in the audio elements. In the audio elements at the bottom, you're gonna see a data key. All right, and I'll explain why we need the data key a bit later. First of all, we have to get these keys in our JavaScript. That is why we have to declare a variable named const keys. We're gonna get all the keys here. Const keys document dot query vector all. And how we're gonna find it? We're gonna find it using our key class. All right, and when I played the piano before, you guys saw that after pressing each button, it demonstrated that this key was pressed. If I pressed A, it showed that A was pressed. If I pressed S, it showed that S was pressed, right? So for that we need to have this class. We're gonna get this using this variable of ours and document.querySelector. And how you're gonna find that class and what's that class names? It is key pressed. We need this class for that thing. All right, now done. Next, we have to create a function that will help us play this piano, and we can name this function play. Now we are done creating this function, but now we have to mention like after what actions that will trigger this playNet function, right? So we can add an event listener window that add event listener, and we're gonna trigger this playNet function when a key is pressed. So we have this key down thing. You can also use key press, but I'm gonna use key down anyway. And when the key down event is happening, playNet function will be called, right? We're done calling our function and we're done making the function too. Now let's check if it's working or not. So console rest, right? Let's check. Now if I press A, it says pressed. If I S, pressed. Okay, that means our function and our event both is working. Now let's before we start doing whatever needed to play our piano, I want to show you guys what is in this E because we need it now. So let me click a button. E. Sorry, second. Okay. But if I press A, there is this object that is coming from line 7. And if you guys scroll down a bit, you guys are gonna see a thing called key code. All right, key code 65. So right now we press a key. We press the key A, and A's key code is 65. And if I press S, the key code is gonna be different. The key code is gonna be 83, right? So if you guys check the HTML, you'll see that we have data keys and there are some numbers in it. And these keys are actually just the key code of those characters, the key code of A, the key code of W, right? And since we have to sync both our keys and the audios, that is why our audio too has data keys. we're gonna use it in a bit. So let's start now. So right now what we have to do is we have to get the key and the audio, which are gonna be synchronously played. First of all, we are gonna get the audio, constant audio. We're gonna then document dot query selector. And how we're gonna get it? We are gonna get it from this audio element and this data key. Okay, and how do you write it? We have to put a backtick and the audio, since audio is our element, and then a third bracket. And since we are getting it using the data key, we have to put data key here, and data key is a string. That is why we have to put string. And we saw a bit before that our key code and data key is the same. That is why we have to get the key code here. We have to write the key code here, and for that we have to use template literal key dot key code. Okay, so we are done getting our audio. Then we have to get our keys. And how we're gonna get it? We're gonna get it using the key class name. All right. And how do you write key class dot class name? Done. So we are done getting both our key and our audio. Now all we have left is playing the audio. Now before that, our users can press other other keys than provided here. So when that happens, we have to do some error handling. So what we can do is right now, it's like very basic. If there is no key, you just return it. Okay, done. That's all we are gonna do now. Now let's play our audio. So JavaScript has this built-in function for audios to play. All you have to do is call your variable, variable, and play. Call the play function. Done. We are done. Now let's see if it works or not. Okay, so it is working, but we actually can't see that which key is playing which audio, right? For that we have to use some CSS, and there's all the CSS, all the styling are already done. So I won't be doing it anymore. I do remember the class names of it. That is why I'm just gonna tell you guys how you can do it. So we already have a class name named key in our keys, right? So when a key is pressed, all we have to do is add another class name with these key. And how do we do it? We write like, where are we doing it? We are doing it on key, right? And we are adding another class with our class list of our key, right? We're writing class list, and what we're doing, we're adding another class. We're gonna add it, and here we're gonna put our class name. So here our class name is playing. All you have to do is just put it, and now we are done actually. So let's see if it works or not. See, it is working, but after we are done clicking on it, after we are done pressing on it, it is not going back to where it was, right? So for that we have to make another function. So let's make a function named remove transition. remove transition. Okay. Now we have to tell our code that when this remove transition function is gonna get called. So this our piano is gonna be in this state when it's when it's not pressed. So when it's normal, it's gonna be in this state, and when it's pressed, it is gonna be we're gonna have some yellow outlines, and the button is gonna be pressed down. So what we can do is we have to add some event listener here. Before that, we have to run a loop on our keys. We can run for each here. Okay, now a key here. Okay, done. Now what is gonna be our event, and where are we gonna put our event? So with in here we put this key down event on our whole piano, but we are not putting this function in our whole piano. Only certain keys are gonna have this function, right? So for that we have to put an event listener in key on key. So key add event listener. And in JavaScript, the normal form of a key is transitioned. Okay, okay, I'm just gonna copy this name because it's kind of complicated spelling. So transition. Okay, and when our state is transitioned, it's gonna be the remove transition function is gonna get called. All right, and what's gonna happen when remove transition function gets called? What we have to do, okay, before I explain, before we do that, let me show you what this E here contains. Okay, let's check. Okay, so check that in property name we have opacity. Okay, opacity, and when I press, like, please pay attention, when I press a button, like let me press a button and see that the property name changed to transform. Normally it is opacity, but it is changed to transform. So what we can do here is we can say that if our property name is transform, if our property name is not transform, means if our button is key is not clicked, if it is not pressed, um our key won't have the playing class. All right, so we can put if here, and if e dot property name, property name, if the property name is not equal to transform, as transform means that the key is clicked. If either property name is not transform, return this dot this dot class list. This means key here, this dot class list dot remove. Before we added the class name, now we are removing it. Remove playing. Done. Okay, so let's see if it works. So let's reload it. Okay, we are facing some problems here. Let's see what happened. Let me check if the name is correct. Oh, okay, we like we put an extra O here. We said transform. It should be transform. Okay, so here it is. Now let's check Control R. See, it works now. It works. Now check one thing, that now when we are playing, all the keys are actually moving very fast and we can't actually hear properly. So for that, we can put a time in our initial function. Okay, what we can do here is we can put audio dot current time and set it to 0. Okay, and that will make it much more better. See, it is still fast, but it's not as fast as before. All right, so we had a bit of bump here with an O in this transform, which like made a mess, but worry not. So here is how we can create a digital piano using raw JavaScript. And yeah, you guys can make your own version of digital piano, and um put the live link in the comment and maybe I'll check it out. All right, so that's all from me today. We'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.